Hello everyone, I am Suhanya Rafael, Museum Director of M+ and co-chairwoman of the SIG Prize. Due to the current difficult situation, we can't meet you in person, but it is truly gratifying to see such an extraordinary creative response to COVID-19 in the past few months from our artistic community to make people feel included at a time of social distancing. Before the end of the SIG Prize 2019 exhibition, we would like to share this remarkable moment with you in announcing the inaugural SIG Prize winning artist, as well as the recipient of the SIG Fellowship for Chinese Art Research through this virtual opportunity.
Today we have reached the end of the first cycle of the SIG Prize, and that's the proof that we have found the best possible future for what previously was termed the Chinese Contemporary Art Award. When I established this award 22 years ago for artists of particular talent, it was to enhance awareness of a largely uninterested public in contemporary art in China and to bring internationally renowned curators who ignore Chinese art to China. That has greatly contributed to changes in the fundamental perception at home as well as abroad, and it paved the way for many artists to an international career. The debate, what is meaningful art in Greater China, is at the core of what now is the SIG Prize, and which institution could be better suited to carry on, further develop, and to bring it to the global stage than M+, and with its vision to be this landmark institution for Hong Kong, Greater China, and the world. I'm deeply grateful to the two co-chairs, Suhanya Rafael, who brought so many resources to reach this goal, and to Anna Liu, who helped me to lay the basis for what's now the SIG Prize, to the very engaged jury members, and to P. Lee and his team, who presented us with a beautiful exhibition.
The SIG Prize jury shortlisted 6 artists whose practices articulate clear perspectives on topics that defy easy categorization. And the work featured in this exhibition addresses pressing questions that resonate across contexts. They are Hu Xiaoyang, Liang Shuo, Lin Yilin, Shen Xin, Tao Hui, and Samson Yang.
如果我回想一下我们整个这个评审的过程，我想2个时间点，第一次是在北京，我们和推荐人进行了长时间的交流，翻阅并观看了艺术家们近年来创作的详尽资料。第2次呢是在香港，评委们在现场在展厅里边面对作品，对入围艺术家进行提问和交流。我觉得这次每位艺术家都非常的独特，他们作品当中所流露出的敏感、细腻、批判、执着和幽默，让那个冬天的 M+ 凉亭充满了人性的能量。那在这里，我想代表我们评委会，代表我自己，对这些艺术家表示深深的感谢。可是呢，作为一个奖项，希克奖和其他奖一样，都只能有1位获奖者。那作为评委会成员之一，当我在回想那一件作品，回想那一个冬天我们做出的共同的选择的时候，我心里依然充满着激动和兴奋。原来有些东西是不会改变的，而有些东西必然要改变，必须改变。任何按照惯性前行的艺术创作，在今天都特别值得反思。我想，当代艺术的价值，也许就在于它的不合时宜，就在于它属于这个时代，又与这个时代脱节。
The inaugural SIG Prize winner goes to Samson Yang with his installation Muted Situations No. 22, Muted Tchaikovsky's Fifth. The jury said, Samson Yang takes sound as source material in an experimental practice rooted in his background in music composition. By muting the melody in an orchestral performance, he brings peripheral sound to the fore, with an element of humor, Young prompts audiences to focus on what is often overlooked or ignored and to question the essence of the music and its collective ambition. By silencing the dominant sound, the work mirrors elements of current political dynamics. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Samson, and of course my deep thanks to all the shortlisted artists.
今次咧就收到呢個希克獎得獎嘅消息咧，都係好開心嘅。咁係有啲意外嘅，因為即係其他藝術家就都好優秀啦，比我智力心嘅亦都有啦，咁所以得獎好開心嘅。咁同埋評審們嘅意見我係好 respect 嘅，所以就係咯，覺得被肯定啦，好開心啦。其實呢個作品咧就係我一個系列叫做 Muted Situations 系列嘅總結嚟嘅，即係呢個22號係將嗰個系列嘅背後一啲諗法，即係佢最濃縮咯嚇，即係喺呢個作品裏面。咁所以佢個系列嗰度係有啲代表性嘅。咁嗰個創作過程其實都一段時間之前㗎啦，即係都17年嘅 Sydney Biennial 嘅時候去創作嘅。其實好多時做作品都要好靠啲 collaborator 嘅，但係呢一個 work 就特別係真係好多謝科隆嘅呢一個管弦樂團同我合作啦。其實要用呢個 muted 嘅方法去由頭到尾玩晒柴五咧係相當困難嘅。我要好多謝 Flora Symphony Orchestra 嘅 musician， 佢哋肯投入去做呢件事，而且佢相信呢一個 vision。我覺得嗰個作品嘅 energy 好大程度上係由觀看者睇到佢哋嘅投入，同埋睇到佢哋嘅相信呢件事嘅 spirit 嗰度嚟嘅。所以我要好多謝佢哋每一個，要多謝佢哋嘅 conductor Thomas Young， 多謝佢咁 adventurous 肯同我一齊玩呢件事。仲有呢個係一個比較大型嘅 production 啦，所以咧要多謝委約呢一件作品嘅順利雙年展，同埋委約呢個作品嘅策展人片江真實。仲有就係要好多謝 support 呢個作品嘅research and development 嘅 Hong Kong Visual Arts Centre 同埋 Art Promotion Office， 好多謝佢哋一路以嚟咁支持香港嘅藝術家。呢個獎可能係對即係整個 Muted Situations 系列嗰個背後嘅諗法嘅一啲肯定啦，因為嗰個系列其實係可以講我同我大部分嘅作品都好唔同，因為我好多作品都係好偏向係嗰個思考形式係比較好似一個網咁生出去嘅嚇。我唔係好多作品係好似 Muted Situation 呢個系列咁樣係咁純粹嘅、咁濃縮嘅嗰個概念，所以即係對嗰一個即係我嘅作品裏面嘅嗰一種諗法嘅一個肯定啦嚇。咁係好開心嘅，係啊。
希克中国艺术研究资助计划每2年会举办一次，每一届选择出1位研究学者，获选的学者会根据每一届的主题来制定研究计划，以 M+ 的藏品为素材，进行为期3到6个月的中国艺术的全新的研究。研究的学者可以接触到 M+ 的馆藏、作品和档案资料，在完成研究之后发表论文以及进行公开演讲。首届希克中国艺术研究资助计划以1980年代中国前卫艺术的起源为研究主题。我们鼓励从20世纪的宏观历史背景来探讨中国的前卫艺术，厘清80年代前卫艺术的某些面向和历史渊源，即以拓宽和加深我们对中国艺术史上这一个关键时期的理解。M+ 很荣幸能够邀请到威灵顿的历史学家和汉学家 Jeremy Barmay 成为首届计划的评审特聘评委。 与 M+ 的视觉艺术主策展人 Pauline Yao 和我一起进行评审工作。我们的评审的标准是看研究的选题能否带来我们对于80年代中国艺术新的或者不同的研究角度，拓宽现有的研究的眼界。今年 M+ 一共收到了30多份来自于全球各地的研究方案，通过2轮的评审会议，我们做出了我们的选择。我和所有的评委一起非常期待看到这个方案的实现。
The inaugural recipient of the SIG Fellowship for Chinese Art Research goes to Yang Zhi, Beijing-based researcher. The jury stated, Yang Zhi's proposed project, Diffused Religion and the Origins of the 1980s Avant-Garde for China, foregrounds aesthetics, traditions and belief systems, highlighting developments in contemporary art in China that have been too easily overlooked. We believe that his work will open new lines of investigation into the M+ SIG collection and the M+ collections as a whole, more broadly, provide new ways of understanding and looking at Chinese contemporary art. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Yang Zhi. This inaugural fellowship will support his research into aspects of artists' engagement with folk art in 20th century China.
大概是2018年的时候，然后我就开始用中国当代艺术里面的一些图像和中国传统民间文化里面的一些图像进行比对。那然后就是通过这种图像学的比对，我会发现两者之间有非常微妙的联系性和相似性。那然后又对更多的比如说中国的民俗文化、神话之间的这些了解之后呢，以及就是中国民间宗教它的这种人类学和社会学的一些研究，我会发现他们其实这种联系是非常广泛的。然后它可能是一种不是这么直接的，然后带有弥散性的这种情况的这种联系。那在之前的这些民间的这些群众，他们是如何面对自己的生活的，如何在思想上获得一些解脱，在精神上获得一些慰藉，或者如何进行抗争，可能这些都对我们当下是有一些非常的独特而且就是持续的这种影响。所以我这次的研究的主题呢，它讲的大概就是这种历史传承之后，然后中国当代艺术是如何发生和发源的。
I would like to acknowledge the hard work of the juries for this inaugural edition. M+ established the SIG Prize to place contemporary artistic practices from the Greater China region in a global context. The SIG Prize and the SIG Fellowship define a close connection with the M+ SIG collection. You are welcome to visit the SIG Prize 2019 exhibition online by joining our curatorial tour led by SIG Senior Curator P. Lee. You can also learn more about the SIG Prize and the SIG Fellowship on our website and YouTube channel. Please stay tuned with M+ for the next SIG Prize. I look forward to seeing you soon, and thank you.